Caitlin kind of reminds me of that student that doesn't study, but they can get a B on the test. But for me, there's something to be said about the people who are consistent, right? They consistently study to make sure that they get the A. And so I don't know. I just find it so strange that people love to be student. And not let me not say this. You have the right to like whatever player that you want. But to me, it is to be celebrated. The people who are technically sound. And I don't know why they get called boring or they get pushed to the side. Sabrina Ionescu can shoot logo threes, but she's just disciplined.
That's a good point.
Alicia Gray, right? Let's segue into that. She can shoot threes. Extremely disciplined. I don't know. I want people to like whatever player they like, but I just really want them to show some of the other ladies some love. Like we're not seeing CC do something that other people can't do. They're making a choice not to. That's my point.
That's a good point.
Well, I'd also put this to you too. There's one player that I like a lot, Ryan Howard, right? Shooting a high volume of threes this season, but she went on a heater the other day, went 9 for 19, right? I'd say in a similar way. I wouldn't call all of them, per se reckless, but it's obvious that she can hit that shot, and she'll pull up to it. She'll make a move off of it, and sometimes they give her the ball at the end of the shot clock, just like a play finisher, right, so to speak, almost in the vein of like a Kelsey Mitchell. All right. The reason though some of these players have even the confidence to do it, right, is the amount of repetitions they put in, and again, the practice on doing something that they have the confidence to do it. But then having the green light, I'd say like Marina Mayberry, which like sometimes I think she just needed to chill, but she kind of has the green light because she's, besides Tina Charles, there's not much other option, offense for them out there. And there's a word that people like to use, like, you're starting to press when you're getting behind, and maybe you need to get points in bunches. And well, who can get us points in bunches? You give it to one of your gunners, and give it to somebody who can get hot quickly, your microwave, you know what I mean? Everybody don't have, especially with certain coaches that they have around the league, everybody don't have the green light to do it. And then players who might be able to do it, some of them aren't able to do it at a consistent enough clip where I want you even doing it. You might be a 1 out of every 4 type of player, right? A 1 out of every 5 type of player. The next person is 2 out of 5, right? Well, or 3 out of 5. Well, yeah, it may not still be the greatest of percentage, but the person who can make, I can give them 10 of those shots, they'll make 4. I give you 10, you make 1. Well, I'd rather the person who can make 4, even though it's up in the air about you making it, or it's not a great shot in some cases, but hey, you're more proficient at making it. And that's why Sabrina, she's more proficient at making it. She just is also too, she's not going to it. Marina Mayberry, up in the air with it, but she's proficient at making it, and she has a green light to do it. And Cece, as we see, some games that don't work, some things that do, but the girl, right now the league average 3-point percentage is 34%, about somewhere within that, right? And if we only look at the percentage, and I can find it, just the percentage on her shots that she takes from 30 feet plus, real quick, you go to the WNBA website, go to splits, go to traditional, go to shooting, 2025, 30 feet, what? The WNBA 3-point line is at what? It's like 25 feet or 23 feet, something like that. Well, shots that she's taken from 30 feet to 34 feet right now this season, she's 5 of 11, 45%. That's that's an insane, that's NBA efficiency from a shot that most women are not going to take regularly. That's why some people have free reign to do it. Like her coach Steph White said, you don't never tell Steph Curry what's a good shot because he has the ability to make it.
You gotta make it my point though, Wody. I don't have an issue. Me personally, listen, because I'm not a hater. I don't have an issue with none of these women. Angel Reese is the reason why I'm watching, but I don't have an issue with none of these women, especially not Cece, right? And if she's gonna shoot the logo 3 and make it, I'm cool with her making it. My thing is, she's gonna have to, and she's doing it, right? She's, like you said, she's working on her mid-range shot. She's working on different things. You can't live with that because there's gonna come a time where that shot that's 45% is not falling, and that was 0%. And now what you're gonna do? You're just gonna keep shooting it until you make it again, right? So that was my point in saying that you can't live with the logo 3, right? The logo 3 is fine for like a superpower. What she used it for the other day, you know, they was losing. She came out, hit a bunch of deep threes, got momentum in the building. You know, they ended up winning the game. But what I'm saying is, if you know basketball, that's a beat. Like if you only focus on that, if you don't have anything else going for yourself, if you don't have a solid defense, if you don't play fundamental, if you don't have these other things going for yourself, that's not gonna be sustainable, and you're not gonna win. And my point is, the people who are excited about that, or the people who are intrigued by that are people who don't really watch the game and don't really know, right? Those are people who don't even think girls could play, right? Those are people who don't even think girls could play. So now they see somebody like a Cece that's shooting deep and they getting like wowed. You get what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, if you don't pay attention, if you're somebody who don't understand the game of basketball, and that's all you care about, listen, I don't want to say, listen, we all know Cece don't play no defense, right? We all know that. Like you just said, she had a good game as far as switching goes, but I'm just talking about her as a one-on-one defender. We all know she's not a defender, right? She can't defend nobody, right? So my point is saying that if you understand basketball, and this is not a knock Cece, but I'm just being honest. If you understand basketball, when they was asking you earlier again about flaws in her game, that's just something that's, as many deep threes as you make is going to be a flaw, because now you're going to give up just as many points as you make it. You get what I'm saying? So it's like cool. The deep three. Listen, that, in other words, let me land my plane with this. In other words, I love the fact that Cece could make 3 deep threes, and I love the fact that she's a star in this game, and everybody loves her. But for me personally, it don't move me. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be honest with you, and that's why I'm not a Cece fan, because it's like the things that people love about her, I'm like, okay, that's cool. You get what I'm saying? Like the deep threes is cool. I've seen it before. Like, and I'm not saying that. Let me not even say it then, because I don't even want to put the wrong message out there. Let's just say, let me say it this way. When it comes to playing the game of basketball outside of, like, you know, athletic dunks and, you know, things of that nature, I think girls could do everything guys could do. I don't really look at women unless let's use real life examples. I don't really look at women as inferior to men unless it comes to like physical strength, right? Unless it comes to, like, you know, let's use my mother for an example. If I come home from the grocery store, my mother, I'm gonna take the bags in the house because I'm the man, right? But my mother has the mental capacity to think and do anything I can do, right? I'm sure we all feel like that about our moms, right? Right, Wody? I'm sure you feel like your mom is an intelligent woman, right?
Yep.
So when it comes to playing basketball, I don't really look at basketball and be like, "Oh my God, she got a crossover. She's better than everybody else." Like I don't do that. You get what I'm saying? That's what these guys do. They look at CC and be like, "Oh shit, she shoot deep. The best one I ever seen." Like I don't do that. Like I'll be like, "Okay, she can shoot deep. That's dope." But she can't do what this one can do, and this one can do this, and that one can't do. You feel me? It's only one CC, the same way as only one Asia, the same way as only one. You get what I'm saying? It's mad nice girl. Now CC is popular because she went through the college thing and she became a star in college. We get why she's popular. We get it. But I also understand basketball. I'm not like a random person that just like watch TV and you tell me what's popular and what's not. When I look at basketball, whether we talk about the NBA or the WNBA, I know what's good basketball and what's bad basketball. I know who's more likely to win and more likely just to have good stats. If that makes sense, you get what I'm saying? Like I understand the game, is what I'm saying. That's why I gave you a little bit of history about Kobe and these guys, because they understand the game, and these guys will tell you what's important, right? It don't got to come from me. Right, it'll come from LeBron to tell you what's important. Steph and these guys, they'll tell you what's important. And I don't think none of them said that Iverson, that's known for the crossover, won't tell you. Like he even jokes about his defense. I wasn't the best defender out there, but that's why they surrounded me with these guys. You get what I'm saying? So like these guys also understand what's important. So again, that's what I'm saying. Like I do understand the appeal of CC to people who probably don't think women should even be able to play basketball that well. So they see her shooting threes and all of a sudden she's better than everybody else, right? But if I'm talking to somebody who understands basketball in general, whether it's CC, whether it's Angel, whether it's Asia, we could look at the game through a lens and critique the basketball of it without being fooled by popularity. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. So that's the point I'm making. Again, I haven't read the chat, but I see stuff in the chat. I don't want people to think that I'm disrespecting CC. I'm just making a point. If
this
CC
is the other thing too.
Yeah.
Diana Taurasi was asked, how did you play for so long? And one of the things she said is, I wanted to make the game easy for me. So I was always looking for easier ways to score. And so when you think about that, it's going to be a 3-point shot no matter where you shoot it. I'm just like, in a few years from now, what does her game begin to look like when she can't throw up that logo 3? Because it's literally going to be harder on the body. And that doesn't matter whether you're male or female, but it's literally going to be harder on the body as you age, because you aren't making the game easier for you for a shot that gives you 3 points, no matter where you shoot it.
That's a good point. Gotta be able to make, gotta be able to find easy shots. Definitely a fact. But again, let me say this. CC is great for the game, right? And she's gonna work on her game and get better. So is all these other women we talking about, Asia, Angel, you know what I mean? They all working on their game. But again, my point is, I don't want my point to get missed. I want to land with this. I'm gonna keep it short. It's a difference between somebody seeing something that they feel like they never seen before, or they think it's popular, or whatever the case may be. And there's a whole nother thing when you just critiquing the game of basketball, right? You're just critiquing what's good basketball and what's bad basketball. So let's be clear about that. Because I heard when Wody Mack was talking, he was talking about why guys like CC's game. Well, a lot of times those guys don't even have respect for the women's game. So they're looking at CC as, oh shoot, You know, they don't think that they have no clue of what these women are capable of. Is my point.
Yeah, can I say something to that, man? Because I can't speak for all of these gentlemen, right? But I do remember one conversation I had with a dude, and I don't want to paint a bad light on some of these fellas, right? But I tell some people that I hang in other spaces that I go, right? There's non-basketball related. That's the dating and relationship talk side of YouTube that I got tired of, but still talk to some of them dudes. And I was like, yeah, I'm watching, you know, the WNBA, you know what I mean? Watching women's basketball, WNBA, homeboy that I know, he's a music producer, right? And we talking about the NBA, and then I bring up the W. He was like, nah, I just don't want to watch a whole bunch of layups, my G. I'm good. I'm trying to like talk it up. I'm like, yeah, I heard it. He's like, oh yeah, I know Angel Reese, and like, you know, shorty cool, but now I ain't trying to watch a whole bunch of layups. This, that, and the third, boom, whatever the case may be. Right? So I see it too, even like for casual people who may not necessarily be, they just not interested, dog. Especially like you said, it's harder trying to bring NBA men who watch the NBA into watching the women's sport for some, especially maybe even for some of the younger demographic. It may see some things that's kind of cool, but I even know dudes who know who CC is and seeing some of her highlights. They're like, yeah, she just shoot. Like, yeah, okay, like she shoot like Dame. What? Yeah, okay. Well, what else? You know what I mean? It's like it's not Edwards jumping over a dude, grabbing the back of his head and slamming it on. But like, you know what I mean? Even if they just highlight culture, they not watching whole games. They getting that explosive plays for some dude. It's like, yo, never watch the whole season, but then NBA Finals time come on, and they gonna watch OKC and Indiana, and they gonna see something that gonna have them like, yo, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I understand. Just being me, I have to understand. I understand. It just don't appeal to everybody, bro. It is what it is.
But that's the point I'm making, because a lot of guys, and listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, I was one of them. I ain't even gonna hold you. Like a few years ago, I would have never watched a WNBA women's game. It was a Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese championship game that made me like, oh shit, like this shit kind of interesting. And I started watching from there, and I just started educating myself. But my point is saying that it's a lot of men who just don't really care or don't really think that girls could play. You get what I'm saying? So they don't want to see it. So it's like the ones that, like you talking about, ones that don't even want to see CC, but I'm talking about the ones that, because the reason why I keep bringing CC up is because the thing that I hear from people is that, oh, she's better than everybody. CC is the best one. That's why when you go back to Ms. Goody Two Shoes question about, don't Sabrina also do this?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Hold on. Let me just land with this. The I can't think of the word I'm trying to use, but what's been placed upon Caitlin Clark is she's the best one. Like she and let's even say maybe they feel like this. She's the only one that's good. Like everybody else is trash, right? So that's why she gets so much popularity and people watch her, because it's like a little bit of her passes, but just mainly her shots, mainly the shots she takes, or whatever the case may be. And she's put. You know what I think it is too, because I'll say this. I've watched. Because I'm into women's basketball now, I've watched full games. So like what Mo 3 was saying earlier about how she had a great first half, terrible second half. When you watch CC highlights, she looked larger than life. Like she looks amazing, because they don't show obviously the low lights. So when you just look at her highlights, you be thinking like, that's what it's like watching her. Like she don't miss nothing, and she just coming down and just making she don't turn nothing over. Like that's what it looked like. That's not reality, but that's what it looked like. So if you somebody who never watched the game and only seen highlights, I see how you do probably think that, right? You are probably fooled. But people who actually watch these games understand that, you know, it's not like that, right? Like She could play amazing in a quarter or a half, and then get shut down in the third, like it's just, or be missing, like that's more reality of it, right? So for us, it's not as amazing. It's just like, okay, she's human, right? It's more regular. It's more like, okay, regularly scheduled programming. But for somebody that's a casual watcher that's not watching, for them, it's like larger than life. You get what I'm saying? Like it's two different experiences for the people, for the casual watcher and the person who actually watch the games. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm trying to. Oh yes, going back to Sabrina. That's what I wanted to circle back on for Miss Goody Two Shoes, right? And this is hopefully this makes somewhat bit of a sense, right? Or with the lack of appeal to males for what Sabrina does in a similar fashion. If you do pay attention, though, right? Whatever Sabrina was doing about 2 or 3 years ago that caught a little bit of buzz, they made a slot specifically just for her in the NBA All-Star game, Sabrina versus Steph. So there was something that she did that caught a flare, caught a buzz, and put her at least there was maybe a little bit of a rise in attention for her. Due to that they had her doing a shootout yearly against it. They did it like 3 years in a row. They skipped the last year, but they did it like 3 years in a row. So it was some type of allure. Again, though, like she don't do it that often. It didn't catch on quite as maybe like it does for Caitlyn, but Caitlyn does it in a different way. But it did do enough to where they made a sequence in the WNBA All-Star game. Not NBA, pardon me, NBA All-Star. For 3 years.
I missed your point if you made it.
Well, she mentioned like, why people don't why men don't hold Sabrina in the same regard for taking the same type of shot. I said what she did bring some type of allure because the NBA brought her on to shoot against Steph for 3 years in a row. So it had a slight buzz, maybe not as big of a, but it had a slight buzz.
Sabrina.
Yeah. So there was something to it. It just wasn't enough of a buzz. Hence why she's doing that shootout with Steph, going like it would be 4 years now this year, 4 or 5 years.
But that's the thing too. It's like Sabrina has actually proven that she's the best 3-point shooter in the WNBA. Like there's some metrics of consistency, 3-point shooting contest. But people are talking about someone else.
But yeah, unfortunately, so is life, where I respect people's want for things to be equitable and to be fair. Why Prince, who is more talented, ain't more popular than Michael Jackson, the world may never know. Because like just sometimes it ain't fair. Fair ain't fair, and people like what they like.
Like I said,
and I know it's a generic response, but that really it boils down to people like what they like. There was and if I may real quick, Brooke, there was a conversation I heard these people having that I took a slight step back from. I'm like, he was talking about all the white fans of Caitlin Clark, why they love her, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? Because it's like giving a aha to black women, or to the black race, or to the black population as a whole. They got a great white hype, right? And for the black people that like her, y'all just saddling up the white people because you want the butter biscuits from the white folks, whatever the case may be. Who knows why they say what they said? I get the sentiment. Trust me, I understand it. I get it. But why is she appealing to the people who really don't care about that narrative that he was spewing there? Why does she appeal to black men, black women, so on and so forth, who don't identify with that? What is it? Again, yeah, it's the excitement factor. People like what they like. That's why I use that Michael and Prince example. People just like what they like.
No, but I think if you're marketed a certain way, people are going to view you a certain way. To Brooklyn's point, right? So if I only watch highlights, right, or if my first initial introduction to you are just highlight reels, I'm going to think that. And then once you buy into the highlight reels, it now becomes difficult for you to detach from that. Because no one wants to be wrong. Yeah, so I've seen the highlight reels. I think this person is great. I haven't seen the clunkers. I haven't watched the full game. I haven't seen the turnovers. Right? But make no mistake about it. We have been in this world a long time, right? One of the reasons that, let's be real, that she gets pushed, it is because she looks a certain way and she is a foil to another person in the WNBA. That's a huge part of it. Now, are there some people that may not dig in deeply to that? Sure. But if you look at the way that Angel Reese is portrayed online, there are even black people who would lean into that, right? Because we're not talking about the reality. We're talking about what we're fed, okay? If you look at how both of them are portrayed online, you're going to say, oh my God. And not even just Angel Reese, but just like, why are people being mean to her? She just wants to play basketball and she's good at it. Right? Now, keep in mind, the highlight reels of the other players haven't been pushed. So yeah, you are going to think that you are choosing to support somebody. You are going to think that you are choosing to buy in. But most people, that it's no different from when people go out to vote. Most people aren't doing research. They see campaign ads, right, and then they feel a certain way. And then it becomes difficult for them to back away from that feeling because most people aren't critical thinkers.
This young lady, she on my all-star ballot.
Y'all want to say something real quick too about the debate. A lot of people, and this shows you why you got to do history, right? A lot of people keep talking about the debate is over, or why are they compared and all this, that, and third, when people don't realize they was never compared based off skill or talent, right? Nobody ever was like, oh, Angel Reese is having a great game. What is Caitlin Clark doing? Caitlin Clark is having their comparisons never came from what was happening on the court. They was never compared. What happened was, right, they played in the championship game. Angel Reese won. And not only did she win, she celebrated. And a lot of people across America, a lot of white people across America didn't like that, right? They got upset. They got upset that she won. And then they made it a thing. That's where it came from. So all this because people acting like because Caitlin Clark won Rookie of the Year, or because she scored this many points. That is why it's not even a debate. Debate never came from that. Debate never came from what they did on the court. The debate came from people making it a racial thing. It became the comparison came from a racial thing. So if you want to end the debate with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, you got to end that, because we didn't, as Angel Reese fans, we didn't create that. And as the Caitlin Clark fans who just care about what Bodie Mack just said, the basketball of things, and you don't look at the race. Well, y'all ain't create that either. Nobody's attacking the real problem, and that was the racist people. And when I say racist people, I don't mean white people, because all white people not racist, right? And all skin folk ain't kinfolk. We know that. So all just because you black, I don't necessarily feel like we together neither. When I say racist people, I'm talking about the people that's evil, regardless of what your color is, the people that's nasty, the people that everybody should be standing against. Those people created the rivalry. So if you want to end the rivalry or the comparison between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, you got to start with those people. It ain't got nothing to do with what happened on the court, because they was never compared on the court. You never heard Angel Reese come out her mouth and say, I think I'm better than Caitlin Clark. I think I'm a better scorer than Caitlin Clark. I think I'm a better passer than Kate. She don't care about Caitlin Clark. She don't ever mention this girl. But because of racist people mad, right, of the skin color between them and Angel winning and celebrating, they put that between them. So now every time they play together, they want to see Angel lose because Angel won. So now they want to see her lose. That's the most important thing to them, is to see Angel suffer. Even if Angel is, and you want to know how this is true? Because it don't only happen to Angel. This happened to Dejanay Carrington, who was competing against Caitlin. This happened to other players who compete against Caitlin. They get it too. It don't got nothing to do with what happens on the court. It's some people that hate black people, I'm assuming, right? Because what other reason is it, right? And you're mad that they'll get one up on CC. So now you start attacking them. You start attacking her opponents. So if you a CC fan, and if you're an Angel fan and you want to get rid of the so-called rivalry, you got to start there first. And again, like I said, I'm not talking about white people, because all white people ain't racist. And it's a lot of black people that I see that's attacking Angel. It's a lot of black people that I see keeping this shit going. So all skin folk ain't kinfolk neither. So it ain't got nothing to do with the color. It's the people with evil in their heart. Those are the people you gotta attack first. You attack them. If we get together as CC and Angel fans and attack those people, the rivalry will be over. Then CC will be able to play her games, Angel will be able to play her games, and we don't gotta worry about who cares about who wins or loses or none of that. But as long as those people are still controlling the narrative, and you know they controlling the narrative, because every time a video was put out, you go look at those comments, what you see? Nasty stuff, nasty comments, right? So that's where the rivalry is going to end at, because that's where it started at. It has nothing to do with what happens with CC and Angel on the court, who scored the most, who got the most triple doubles, who did this, who got the most rebounds. Ain't got nothing to do with that, because Angel been doing that way before the CC game. Way before that championship game, Angel was getting rebounds and winning games and being a winner. She won championships before she beat Caitlin Clark. And Caitlin Clark was having big games and shooting logo threes before she played Angel in the championship game. So they was doing that before that championship game. But the rivalry started after the championship game because of people that wanted to be evil and nasty. Because if we think about it, just because you lose a championship game, it ain't going to start no rivalry, right? How rivalries normally get started. Rivalries normally get started because I beat you and you came back and beat me, and now we have a rivalry. That didn't happen with Angel and Caitlin, because you can't even count the Elite 8 game because nobody got a ring for that. So they really don't have a rivalry from the way rivalry naturally stem from. They got a rivalry because racist people created an agenda and a narrative because they got mad at the way Angel Reese won. They felt like she celebrated too much. So now they attacking this girl for the rest of her life. So the only way we end it is by ending them. And if we're not going to end them, it's always going to be a rivalry. It's whether you like it or not, it is what it is.